In this video, we'll continue looking at schedules that are present in the Parallax template by going through the door schedules. We'll again use the sample training file that has some doors already present in the model. That way we can look at the schedules while they are filled in. You'll find 5 door schedules listed under the architectural portion of the schedules in the template. 2 of these schedules are what we will call main door schedules. That is the door schedule core and shell and the door schedule units. Typically on any given project in the Parallax template, you may only be using one of these 2 door schedules. If you're using the Parallax door library that are called the unit doors, which have the majority of the parameters set as type parameters, you'll be using the unit door schedule. The main difference there is that the doors are sorted by type and that they do not itemize every instance. That's more for if you are doing projects where you would like to call your doors door type A, door type B, door type C. Conversely, the door schedule core and shell is your standard door schedule that will list out every itemized door in the project. So here you'll see that we have a number of doors already placed in the project, and they are all numbered based on room number and then a lowercase letter. If we open the door schedule, you'll see an itemized list of all the doors that are in use in phase 1 of the model. There are a number of different door fields available in the door schedule, which may have been customized in your firm's variant of the Parallax template. For instance, there is panel 1 as well as panel 2. You'll notice panel 2 is naturally not used in all of the doors. There is also an overall panel width. Chances are all 3 of these fields will not be present in an active door schedule, but they're there and available for your use. What's more important to keep in mind about the Parallax door schedule is that it is filtered already. The filters are required for these schedules to work correctly because of the way the Parallax door library is built. You'll notice that the first filter is looking for panel 1 and does that parameter exist. The second filter is looking for does the parameter unit door equal to yes or does it not, and if it does not, it puts it in the core and shell door schedule. Naturally, removing the second filter will just combine the unit schedule and the core and shell schedule. However, removing the first filter will basically multiply the number of doors present in the schedule by 3 to 4. That's because the Parallax door library is built out of shared nested families, which means that each door in the library is both a door and a panel and a frame and pieces of hardware, all as separate shared nested door families. This means that the core and shell schedule wants to be able to filter them out. So for instance, this overall family that we call the parent is door number 115C, and that is what we want to schedule. If you were to use your tab key, you could also select a panel as its individual family and a door push as a separate family and a door frame as a separate family. That's why the schedule needs to be filtered, and if it becomes unfiltered, you'll know right away because you'll see a large number of doors that don't have the panel 1 type filled in, and then you'll simply have to put that back. So we will put this back the way it was. And there we go. The other door schedules that are present are a schedule of just the nested frame families that are in the project, as well as just the nested hardware components that are in the project, as well as just the nested panel families that are in the project. It's important to mention these 3 schedules will not be correct until you run the dynamo graph that's included with the door library, and that dynamo graph is called doors renumber subcomponents. What it's going to do is you simply open the graph and click run. After you've done that, it's going to take the door number of the overall family that you've given a number. So we've numbered this door, as we said a minute ago, 115C. You'll now notice that the panels and frames and hardware families are also numbered 115C panel and 115C panel 2. The frame will be called 115C frame, and the hardware will similarly be named 115C hardware. This is handy for quality control purposes, as somebody can look at the panel schedule and they can change how it's sorting so that if they want to see which panels are, full glass, FG, versus F for flush panels, they can also sort them into which panels are in fire rated doors, as the fire rating parameter is passing down from the parent family into the nested components as well. That means it's handy to be able to open a hardware schedule to look and see, is there any panic hardware on any of these doors, are there kick plates on any of these doors, and so on and so forth. Most of the fields that you'll see in the door schedule are live editing the doors, meaning if you were to go into the door schedule, you'll see that there are panel widths and panel heights, there is thickness of the door panel itself. There are a series of material parameters for being able to fill in what the material finish is on the panels and frames themselves, as well as the frame head height and the frame jamb width, which can be controlled here, and it will also edit the 3D model as well. There is a frame depth parameter that is live reporting, depending on if the door has been set to get its frame thickness or frame depth based on the thickness of the host wall, or if it's being set manually. Both ways this field will report correctly. And then there are head, jam, and hardware set text parameters, which can be filled in on an instance or type basis, depending on which library of doors you're using. That's basically everything that there is to know about how the door schedules themselves work. One trick to keep in mind about the door library is that because the doors are all built out of nested families that are shared and are all set to the door category, tagging doors can have some unexpected results. So if we are in a partial floor plan, and I like to use the parent view, that way I am tagging all of the doors in all 9 of the dependent views, a handy way to tag doors is to use the annotate tag all not tagged button and select doors. If you do this and make sure that you're looking at the correct door tag, when you tag them all, you may notice that there is a large number of undesired door tags now all over the plan. That's because the default behavior for tag all not tagged finds every visible door, including the nested panels and frames, and it tags them. There is a built-in workflow in the template to make this problem easier to manage. When you're ready to tag your doors, you're going to simply turn on temporary view properties. Once the temporary view properties are on, you'll go into Visibility Graphics, where there is a pre-built filter called Doors, Parent Families, Not. That means this filter is selecting all of the doors that are not parent families. If you uncheck visibility of that object and hit OK, you may notice that the doors look strange if you zoom in on them temporarily. The frames will be missing. You'll still see the door swings because that is an unshared nested family. But you're only going to leave it like this long enough to switch your door tags in the Tag All Not Tagged dialog and hit Apply. You'll notice it is now properly tagged all of the doors, and all of the erroneous tags that we saw a minute ago are not present. Now you simply restore your view properties, which will re-enable the view template, and everything is good to go in terms of your doors and your door tags. That's the gist of using all of the door schedules that are present in the Parallax view template. Keep in mind that you may need to occasionally update the Dynamo graphs if packages are found to be out of date. Hopefully that explains how to use the door schedules.